Hello and welcome back to Boss by Bronte. I'm so excited to be here today. So excited for today's episode because it's really focusing on a key area that a lot of social media managers struggle with, and that is imposter syndrome for the most part. What this can really look like, and this is really looking at the sort of finances and packages side of things, is either you feel like your prices are a barrier. So say you've just started charging properly, you're charging $1,500 for a package and you're like, oh, I keep getting turned down. People keep saying that I'm too expensive, and I all of a sudden feel like I am too expensive and I should not be charging this, and I'm not someone who, can deliver this quality, and that maybe I need to reduce back down to whatever you were at before. Or you're still in that stage of charging $500 for a package and you're not really sure how to increase it and you're lacking the confidence around how to do that. So going to jump into a few things with you today to hopefully shift your mindset and give you a little bit of confidence in the social media space to allow you to actually charge what you're worth and increase your package pricing. So kicking off with a quick reminder, your prices are not holding you back. Your prices are not too much, and your prices are not the reason that you're not getting clients. So I need you to repeat that inside your head as a bit of a mantra. You need to remember this. You are worthy of what you're charging as a social media manager based on what you're delivering. And this is, of course, going by the fact that you have strategically designed these packages based on the value you're giving and based on the time it takes to deliver them. One thing I need you to keep in mind is that your client has already decided if they're going to work with you before you give them the price. That is true across the board, and this is a really key sort of sales area that you need to focus on. And the formula of what you're kind of building for them in order to say yes to that price is the experience that you are creating for them, what it looks like to be part of your brand. So what it looks like to be part of your business, what it looks like to partner with you, how well you communicate that and showcase that. Your leads and sale process, really looking at how you're actually attracting leads, making sure that your process from the moment they touch base with you is aligned with getting them set up to say yes based on delivering the value of what they're looking for from a social media manager. And lastly, getting the right leads. So targeting the right people. That is the biggest piece of the puzzle that a lot of people overlook. I recently had one of my students who came to me and she was like, I keep attracting people who are not willing to pay the prices that I'm paying. And I was like, okay, charging. And I was like, okay, let's have a look at your overall campaigns, your sales process, your leads, let's deep dive into it and pull it apart. And what we found was that all of her messaging was really based around how, she's like cheap. Like she's like, oh, I do this and it's this much a week, and, how much she could deliver for a small amount of money. And then even on the calls, I was like, take me through your sales process. It was very much, hey, you want to work with me? Here's my pricing. Here's what my package looks like. So we completely pulled that apart. I workshopped with her on where to focus instead of just the pricing. And then we completely redid her sales process to focus on the value that she's delivering, not just the price. The value, what picture you're painting, the campaign you're going to deliver, what you're going to do for this client is 99% of the pitch. The price is the very end. It's the known detail. It does not matter what that actually looks like. It's the same with what's included in your packages. So many social media managers, the second someone starts talking to them, they're like, here's the pricing, here's what's included, 3 posts per week, and you get this and some community management. Do you want to go ahead? I don't want to go ahead because that means nothing to me. I'm thinking about how I want to grow my business, how I want more time in my business, how I want to compete with my competitors on socials, how I want to connect with my community better. I'm not thinking about 3 posts on Instagram and 2 TikTok videos per week. I'm thinking about what it actually means to my business. So there's an entire process that if you think it's your pricing, let's start from the start and see what it actually is that is holding people back from it. Because 9 times out of 10, it is nothing to do with the price of your packages. It is to do with every single thing that you're doing before that moment. So these are a few reminders to kind of keep in mind. And I've designed today's episode a little bit differently. I'm picturing you driving, to work or driving somewhere and just listening to this as like a little bit of a motivation for you to shift your mindset. So number 1, what you think is a lot of money, others don't think is a lot of money. And this is something that I had to remind myself in early days business as well. If I was quoting someone and going, okay, $1,500 a month, and I was like, man, if someone quoted me $1,500 a month in my business right now, I would have to say no. That's so much money. I could not do that monthly. And when you're taking that mindset into a pitch with a client and where you're talking to them about it, they are going to feel that energy. They're going to feel that when you say $1,500, you are like, oh, I already know. I know it's too much. It's such a big amount of money. Like, don't worry about it. I would say no as well. That is not the mindset that you need to have. You need to have the mindset that you could pitch 5,000 to them and they're going to say yes, based on how much they're making in their business. They're a thriving business. They're doing well. $1,500 is nothing to them, which honestly, in most businesses, it is not. Secondly, that the value that you're delivering is so beyond worth $1,500 that they would be so silly to say no to it. And that is what your entire pitch is surrounded. Secondly, that there are thousands of social media managers out there right now charging $5,000 to $10,000 per package. Literally, one of my students is charging $10,000 per package, including some content for their clients, and they have full books. They're at complete capacity. I need you to get into the mindset that, even if you're struggling with going from 500 to 800, you can do that. You can make that jump. There are literally thousands out there whose packages start at 3,000, 5,000, 8,000. So the smaller package that you have, it does not matter if you are speaking to people who are saying, oh, $800, that's more than I expected. You're targeting the wrong people. It is not to do with your pricing. And thirdly, they have the money. Most businesses have at least $1,500, $2,000 to dedicate to marketing and social media management. They are simply assessing the value versus the investment. And that is what a good business person does. So they need to be able to see the value of what they're investing in before they hand over that money. It's like anything in the world. If you can see the value in what you're paying for it, you are happy to pay for it. If you can look at it and go, this is absolutely worth that amount of money, then you're going to be happy to pay that amount of money for it. So again, it comes back to everything that you're doing in the lead up to pitching that price. So I have got a little visualization story for you. If you're driving, do not do this whilst driving, but I want you to think about, and this is just to kind of reposition your mindset around what value is and what, expensive is. So let's say you need a jacket for winter and it's, freezing cold, you're coming into winter and you're like, okay, I need a jacket and I need something that I can wear to work every day, and it's something that I want to wear, out socially as well. I want something that's going to go with all of my outfits, and you walk to work every single day. So you're like, I need something that's like, going to do the job. So tell me why, even though Kmart has $20 jackets, you are probably going to go to Kmart and drop $200, $250, $300 on a really good winter jacket. And I really want you to visualize that moment. It's like, I need a jacket that is going to get me through winter, that is going to check all my boxes. Okay, well, Kmart sells jackets. Why don't you just go grab one of them? You're probably not going to do that because you can see the value in what it means to actually invest a little bit more in something that's going to give you better value. Now, I'm not saying that you won't buy everything else from Kmart, but I'm just saying for some key items, you are happy to invest a little bit more because you know that that value is going to come back in what you're investing in it. And I want you to take that visualization a step further and think about how it would actually feel getting home as well, because this is completely underrated when it comes to selling packages. What would it feel like to get home with the Kmart jacket? Let's just say, yep, sure, you just grabbed it, you were there, you saw it, you're like, yeah, it's kind of cute, whatever. Walk out the shop. You get home and you are going to just chuck it on the bed. It's in its little Kmart plastic bag. Chuck it on the bed, yeah, whatever, okay, I'll wear that tomorrow. It is what it is. Versus, let's say you dropped $250 on a really beautiful jacket from Maya and you were like, you love it. Like, it feels good on, you put it on, you know that you look more sophisticated, you know you look polished, you know that you're going to be able to wear this on social occasions as well. You get home and you're putting it on the bed. Maybe it comes in a box, or maybe it's just in, a gorgeous Maya bag, and you pull it out and you lay it on the bed and you kind of look at it. That feeling that I'm talking about, where you kind of look at it and you're like, yes, I invested in something that's good for me. This is going to last me years. I can't wait to wear it. You literally are picturing how it's going to look on different outfits. That feeling is everything. That is really what you want your clients to feel when they are looking to partner with you. We're not trying to be the Kmart jacket, is what I'm trying to get at. We do not need to be that person. There are people out there that will go get the Kmart jacket. That's fine. It exists for them and they can grab it and they can have that feeling where it's, very underwhelming. What we are creating in our businesses and our brands is that extra special feeling of I am investing in something that is good for me and that is going to serve me long term. Okay, I'm going to leave you on a kind of final question, I guess, and I think this is a fun one to ask yourself. Really, if you're anyone in business, it should be something that you're kind of asking yourself when you're thinking about your point of difference and, you know, what it means to work with you. I want you to think that every single person is the same price. So let's say that across the board, some rule gets put out that every single social media manager has to be $1,000 and there is no way to go above or below that. So you are never going to get pushback from anyone based on your price. But it does mean all of a sudden that you've got to stand out above everyone else because everyone's price is the same. So pricing is not a factor anymore. It does not matter. You have now got to stand out based on everything else that you're delivering to the client. So you're not scared to pitch a price. You know that they already know the price. What are you doing to make yourself stand out? So if you're talking to a client, you know they're speaking to another 3 or 4 social media managers that week who could potentially work with them. What are you doing to showcase that you are the best possible person to partner with them? You're going back through your notes of every single thing that they said they want to accomplish with their brand, all of their wishes, their desires, all the pain points they have, you know, what their competitors are doing, and you are absolutely pulling that apart to make a really, really powerful pitch to them about why you are the best person and how you're going to deliver this campaign and package to them in the best possible way to achieve their goals. Take the same pricing out of the equation. That is what you should be doing anyway. So I really hope that that has given you a little bit of inspiration for today and a little bit of some spaces to start to focus on, because I know it can be so easy when you have a few rejections and people are like, oh, that's quite expensive. In reality, there is no expensive in this space because it is being completely defined by us who are in the space right now. It is such a new industry. There is no industry standard, to be honest. There really isn't. There's definitely guidelines based on, you know, the areas that you might be in, based on what most people are charging, but you could absolutely turn around tomorrow and say, my packages are $5,000. Would you have to shift some of your process, some of who you're approaching, some of how you're approaching them to align with that? Absolutely. But you can actually do that. So I want you to think about, you know, if you're struggling with the fact that your package is $1,000 right now, or you're struggling with the concept of charging $1,500 to a client, hopefully some of this has helped you realign your mindset around that and given you a little bit of confidence that you can actually do it. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please shoot me a message on Instagram at _academy__, and I will see you in the next one.